The genre has been around for decades, and whether you love it or hate it, MMORPGs have made a huge impact on the gaming world as a whole. Hey there friends, it's Codiak here, one half of the team behind Legacy Gaming, and today I want to talk about 3 big reasons why a League of Legends MMORPG could save the genre. There is no doubt that MMORPGs have seen their time in the sun. There was a period when a new massive multiplayer online game was releasing every couple of months. A huge wave of players would hop on the bandwagon and check it out, but ultimately, those games would never flourish and reach their full potential. MMORPGs are developers' playground and, on paper, are only limited by the creativity of the team creating the game. But unlike other genres, there are so many facets of this type of game that it's incredibly daunting and resource intensive. And we could go back and look at some of the bigger MMOs that have come and gone, but I think it's more important that we look forward, and more specifically, look at some of the reasons why a Riot MMO could succeed while others have failed. Now, I started this video saying I think a Riot MMO could save the genre, and that's not just BS. I truly believe a new, polished, accessible MMORPG could reinvigorate the genre and bring back millions of players. But let's see if I can back that theory up with some actual information. Today, I want to talk about 3 important aspects of a Riot MMORPG. I've talked to a number of friends to gauge their interest in a new MMO set in the League of Legends universe, and their response was, well, less than thrilled. So I got to thinking, why is that these hardcore, die-hard MMO fans are not excited about this new game? And honestly, I couldn't figure it out. For the past week, I've immersed myself in the Runeterra universe, and I am absolutely floored at what Riot has been doing behind the scenes to lay the foundation for an MMO, and it all starts with the world and story. Since 2009, Riot has been introducing players to various champions, each with their own origin story and complex history within the Runeterra universe. As it currently stands, there are 153 different champions that have been introduced, and if you head to the League of Legends website, you can learn more about each and every one of them. I think it's fair to assume that champions will play a vital role in shaping a Riot MMO, but to what capacity, I'm not quite sure. If we look at World of Warcraft as a comparison, I think it's clear that these major characters would live alongside our playable, custom characters, providing us with cinematic moments and, more importantly, anchoring the story. Each character in the League universe has a short story that gives you some inkling of their life on Runeterra. More complex characters, ones that will almost definitely have a prominent role in defining the overarching story in this new MMO, have multiple short stories. If you spend enough time on the website, you'll be able to pick out which characters will play a more defining role in an MMO universe. Characters like Swain, the Grand General of the Noxus Army, or Silas, a former Demacia mage seeker turned rebel, are written into multiple stories and interact with a number of other characters. There are also plenty of supporting characters that will provide color to the world, and while they probably won't be part of any overarching story, they'll still be part of the universe nonetheless. Because MMOs are expansive, you need those supporting characters to help fill in the gaps between the main story, and with over 150 champions already established and rooted in the world, I have no doubt that's exactly what'll happen. Now, it's no secret that League of Legends and Riot as a company pulls inspiration from other games from other companies, and while I'm not here to point fingers or really dive into that aspect, I will say that Riot is incredibly adept at taking an existing concept, expanding upon it, and making it widely accessible to the masses. We've seen them do this with League of Legends, Valorant, Legends of Runeterra, even upcoming games like Ruined King, a League of Legends story, pulls inspiration from other great games, so I have no doubt in my mind that Riot will once again rely on the same formula for an MMO, but which game will they choose to model theirs off of? In my mind, there is only one clear choice: World of Warcraft. Now wait a second, before you roll your eyes and start feverishly typing in the comments, hear me out. World of Warcraft is, by most standards, still the single most popular and successful MMORPG in history, ranking in millions of dollars each year and still constantly being one of the most watched games on streaming platforms. World of Warcraft is the game to beat, and isn't that obvious? The worlds are incredibly similar, and while WoW does have a more expansive universe, it wasn't always that way. Let's head back to the Runeterra map and dive into the second point of my argument. MMOs rely on a number of different factors in order to be successful, but Riot has a clear leg up. People already know their champions and understand some of the fundamental things about the world. I mean, heck, they've been building this up for over 10 years. A common challenge MMOs face is introducing players to new lore and, more specifically, a new world. It's a daunting challenge, and if the presentation isn't right, people won't get it, and they'll just go through the motions, completing quests and diving into content in a world they don't really care about. Riot's world, Runeterra, hinges on 11 major regions, each with incredible richness thanks to the champions. There are, at this point, nearly 2.5 hours of cinematics diving into character backstories and world development, and that is something that is incredibly important to the overall understanding of the world. In their heyday, most new MMOs launched with an announced trailer, maybe a release date trailer, and that was about it. At that point, it was up to the players to discover the intricate things about each world, and if the game didn't do that for them, then players had no way to really ground themselves in said world. Riot has the opposite problem. They have established their world so vividly through character trailers, artwork, and short stories that all they have left to do is create it in a 3D universe. Players that follow League and the League universe can pretty much close their eyes and picture a place like Bilgewater without ever actually setting foot there. I can't stress how important this simple concept is. The world is established, places are already created, and the team has already done a decent job making those places come to life. There is still plenty of work to be done. Just because a few short stories and pieces of art, maybe a trailer, give us a taste of a world, that doesn't mean the world is fully established. But Riot is well on their way to creating memorable places that connect with players, and that is invaluable when it comes to creating an MMO. Now, there is one final thing I think makes all the difference in the world, and that is, of course, money and manpower. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out that Riot has both. Founded back in 2006, the studio has grown exponentially and now employs over 2,500 people across 24 studios around the world. I should also mention that as of 2011, Riot is owned by Tencent, a multi-billion-dollar investment firm out of China. If there is one thing you absolutely need to make an MMO, it's money, and that's not something Riot is lacking. There's a reason why you don't see many indie MMORPGs, and that's because the resources required to make them are substantial. With money not really being a factor, let's talk about manpower. Riot doesn't quite have the numbers that Blizzard has. As I said, the company has around 2,500 people to Blizzard's nearly 5,000, but those figures are always in flux. With a new MMO project, expect to see the company start hiring sooner rather than later. There are currently over 150 jobs on the company's website, and according to Greg Street, the hiring for this particular project will ramp up now that it's been revealed. So you've got money, and that means you have the means to hire more people, and you already have a solid foundation to pull from, people that know the world, know the characters, and know how to develop a Riot game. The pieces are all there, and as I've said before, you can't build an MMO without a rock-solid foundation. This is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, but with so many things already in place for Riot, the future of this new MMO is incredibly bright. If the stars align and Riot is able to create the next big world for players to explore, I do truly believe that this game will save the MMO genre and reignite something fans haven't experienced in a very long time. So what do you think? Did I do a decent job convincing you that Riot is perfectly situated to deliver an impressive MMO? Share your thoughts in the comment section below and strap yourself in. We could be waiting years for this game, but never fear, we'll be here every step of the way to keep you updated as new information becomes available. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do consider hitting that thumbs up and subscribing. It's absolutely free for you and helps out the channel a ton. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.